And Washington, it's the Republicans looking on the water line.
Hi, everyone. So we're here on another Wednesday. Just so you know, there might be some noise in the background, but like I've said in the past, it has no intentional impact on the live for today. So we are starting off Women's History Month. And of course, today we're talking about Benito Juarez. And so he was an indigenous man from Mexico who was able to accomplish studying law and then becoming, I think, well, he was definitely the president of Mexico, but I can't remember which president he was. I know today there was a trivia question, and it included some information about the Cuban president. The answer was Cuba. And I think the current Cuban president is the 17th. So right now I have 17th president in mind, but I don't think Benito Juarez was the 17th president. However, he was president when Abraham Lincoln was president of the United States. So that was pretty interesting. We can see if there's a way to focus in on maybe women from Mexico or maybe other presidential type women, maybe leaders throughout history, to go ahead and add that extra layer to this week's itineraries. But first, let's start with a quick quiz. So I'm actually going to find a quiz on indigenous communities in Mexico. What do you think? No? Should we just do general history of Mexico? General Mexican history. All right. Go ahead and share my screen. History trivia quiz. Trivia quiz. I think it makes a difference. Fun trivia. A little trip to Mexican history. X is what? Is runes yesterday, actually. And so it's funny how, because runes are Roman, they're ancient Roman letters, but then the Roman numerals, are they modern runes? I don't know. So how to read Roman numerals. 10. But then how does the century work if that's 10? Let's just do a Roman numeral convert. Advanced languages. And so Spanish is writing that we have today for our writing system. So Roman numeral converter. So I think it was what? XIX. I don't even know. Oh, okay. One after that. So it's just 19. So it's the 19. It's the first cry of independence. He also raised a popular army. And so, I don't know. I don't think it's Vincent, but it says 2. What date is Mexico? Is it Cinco de Mayo? I think Cinco de Mayo is from actually who was Mexico's first emperor following? I'm going to say Augustine. All right, so 4, considered mochos or conservatives. Which of these was it? Defeated by the National Mexican Army. Okay. So now the question is this when Abraham Lincoln was around this time, the 1860s? He was the 16th president. I was close enough. Was it the 16th? That question came up last year during one of these lives. All right, here's number 6. He fought alongside Morelos during the War of Independence against Spain, supported Santa Anna, and later became president of Mexico. His real name was Miguel Fernandez Felix, but he changed it to which of these? A War of Independence against Spain. That's different, I believe. I'm going to say Guadalupe. I really don't know. 7. This woman, born on April 19th, 1773, risked her status and privileges by actively participating in the conspiracy for independence, holding meetings at her house. She is also known as La Corregidora. Who was she? Leona Aspaje, Josefa Ortiz de Dominguez, Loriana Wright. Um, I'm gonna go for Josefa. Mainly because of the combination of names that I think was more recognized at the time. All right, so 8, the first warlike conflict between Mexico and Cakes, and it originated as the result of a disagreement about a provisional clause in a treaty signed in 1827, in which the Mexican government was obliged to compensate foreign citizens living in Mexico whose interests were harmed. When did it end? Was it September 21st, February 5th, March 9th, May 5th? Mexico and France, the War of Cakes. I don't think that sounds familiar. I remember the Alamo. I'm not familiar with the War of Cakes. I'm familiar, but this is kind of around the time of this one. I think the years are a little weird from what I've been reading. But either way, we'll see what the answers are after we submit the test or the quiz. I'm just going to go for September. Mexican generals were shot alongside Maximilian of Habsburg by the liberals in Querétaro in June 1867. Which? These two generals were shot alongside. Okay. Miguel and Tomas, Porfirio and Benito, Ramon and Mariano, Leonardo and Francisco. Let's say Miguel y Tomas, because I'm really not sure. Oh, let's do a hint. All right, cool. We'll keep it. All right, so 10. During the US and Mexico War, this battle took place in which 6 young cadets lost their lives defending their military academy. Which of these battles was it? I'm going to say just of Battle of Puebla. I'm going to change it to Chapultepec. Let's go ahead and submit and see how we did. All right, September 16th. That's a little embarrassing. All right, Mexico's. Okay, so while he was president. Okay, so I'm confusing the different fights for independence because I watched a video and the fight that Benito Juarez led was in response to ending debts. I don't know if he just ignored the debt or if he actually paid the debt. But either way, the French were upset. And I wasn't sure which one it was. And I thought, man, could people possibly be upset if their debts were? I think a lot of times countries or whomever it might be who is waiting upon a debt likes that situation because they have a reason to stay connected. So I wonder if the French at that time were thinking, hey, how dare you pay off your debt? I wonder if that caused some kind of a fight, or maybe it was just Mr. Juarez thought that the debts were just too much. But either way, if I were to look deeper into that, I would want to find out if ending the debts meant paying them or ignoring them. Because I just had a hard time thinking that there would be a whole fight if anyway. So, but that's a question that I have, or that I had when I was doing this little bit of research. On this date, the French were defeated by the National Mexican Army, so that was May 5th. He fought alongside Morelos. This was a total guess, Guadalupe, and then Josefa Ortiz de Dominguez. Yeah. So when her husband, right, were, I wouldn't say they're more influential. I wouldn't say they're more influential, but they were more reflected in the names at least. Cool. So from here, we'll go ahead and decide what we'll do on September 21st, right? That women's history. But we're not getting much of Benin in Mexico. Okay. So and there was a trivia question earlier this week, types of see other types of man-made goods. But apparently it's an art form that's been seeing if there's a workshop or something, especially with a family or at least a business that and updated, but sometimes I find that I didn't update everything for the person it's about. Time frame. Wintertime? Wintertime. Okay, winter time. And we have the same amount of bookings. It's just the 5 bookings that we usually do. I'm just going to keep that blank. All right. I'm going to go over to the trivia question from mind. I'm going to keep that open so I can remember. Here. Romance. Roman languages. Spanish. I need to open this. Account. And then we're opening up the document. It's proud of myself. I had the other documents ready today, but I'll need the trivia document as well. Yes, Ava Salazar. Homelands. About the famous basket. I don't see anything about workshops. And the banner isn't at the top. Online American Indian Museums. Museums and research. So should I just do a museum? No. All right. So since I don't see anything from that website, I was going to look one more time. Let's just search specifically on YouTube. Basket weaving workshop. Traditional baskets, arts, Gloria teach. Yay. All right. Art of basket weaving. Okay, so teaching a workshop. I think it's just about teaching within the community. Basket weaving Tuesday. This was in 2024. Basket weaving, learn from an expert, basket weaver, limited spots available. Great. So it is a possibility. Should I just do an in remembrance post? No. So there must be some other basket weaving options. Upcoming events. Don't see anything about basket weaving. So if you go back to this website, hopefully it'll be a little different if anyone else visits. But they typically, or at least the last time I was here, there was a menu at the top. There was definitely a bar information and many more things to learn about from this website. So hopefully there's just something going on at the moment. And I'm going to search one more time with her name specifically, since she has done one in the past. Let's put this here. Alliance for California Traditional Arts. All right, so I'm going just to move into another more broad search to see any type of basket weaving course that I can find. And hopefully if I save this, I can find something later. I'll already have this one saved, but I'll save this one as well. Choosing books. Basket weaving. I'm going to search for This might be, is this culturally insensitive? Yeah, I think teaching cultural practices is not a preferred avenue. Because that might be part of the reason why it's remained to be like a sacred practice. So I might be searching for something that is a little naive. But we could just find a basket weaving course in general. Or there's also finding a market, a market, a market. Would it be better just to advertise a market? No. We're going to find a workshop. It will just be understood that probably won't be learning more protected, sacred indigenous methods for basket weaving. So this 4-session workshop at the Morton Arboretum, participants learn finger weaving methods. So I think this one's fine, but I won't be, yeah, I already said what I was going to say about that. Right, because here we have a workshop, right? It's basket weaving. I don't know if it's twined sala bag, weave your own sala bag, but it says traditionally, sala bags were made by the Wasco Nation of the Confederated Tribes of the Warm Springs Reservation and the Wickham peoples of the Columbia River Gorge region in the Pacific Northwest, which is implying that there's a little bit of getting away from the tradition because something about this is no longer traditional. Either way. Is it okay to add this one? Yeah. It's all right. And I'm not saying that there's anything inherently wrong. I think I'm just saying there's an inherent preference not to widely teach certain practices in order to keep them culturally significant. All right, so we'll add this one. How are we doing this? No, we do have a female instructor. So that's what we were looking to focus on today, is having a female focus. And she is a leader here in that she's teaching. So we'll see what we can do for a female leader with the next one. Basket weaving. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it, and then put a little note down for the week of itineraries. All right. I'm just going to say female leader 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No. Should I focus on female teachers? Okay, we're going to focus on teachers today. So, basket weaving teacher. I'm just going to put basket weaving teacher. And the location of this is it's the education center, but I don't see a city here. Lisle, Illinois. That's not what I wanted to put. All right, basket weaving twined salad bag, the Morton Arboretum. Okay. Morton Arboretum bag workshop. This should be 11. Great. So now we have another female teacher. Okay. I'm still interested in focusing on indigenous practices, even though I understand I might not be able to find precisely what I'm looking for. So yeah, let's do that. So let's see like music, maybe music. No. Like harvesting things? Okay. So let's see if there's a harvesting tour, some type of harvesting tour in West Mexico. I did find something like this, especially when it comes to coffee beans. I think it was sometime last year there was a tour, a harvesting tour for coffee beans. That was pretty cool. This has sounded pretty nice. So I'm going to search and just see what comes up. Travel by Lily. Experiences take you beyond Oaxaca City directly into indigenous communities where we learn from the land and the people who care for it. So this is Zapotec Travel by Lillian Palma Santos. Ooh, so there are options here. Group experience. Oh, they have pottery. All right, group experience, red pottery, mole and rainbow tortilla cooking class. That's awesome. We have something for today. There was something today. It says it was guided by bilingual Zapotec travel team guide. 8 maximum participants. Wow, this is great. There is something tomorrow and the next day. Don't miss out on our upcoming tours. Don't see a tour you would like? Email us at info@zapotectravel.com to open a group or a private tour. I'm excited. So I'm just going to put this here. They do have tours here. I am going to say Zapotec Travel Tour. So then we have a tour guide, right? Then we have a type of leader. Zapotec Travel Tours. Now let's look into sports, maybe. Yeah. Make sure I save this website. Participate in Indigenous Mexican sports. So we have Mama Raumuri running. Okay, so there's Indigenous women's softball. Then there's Charreria. Ooh, it's equestrian. Did not know that. Jaripeo is the national sport of Mexico and a discipline arising from equestrian activities and livestock traditions used in the haciendas of the viceroyalty of New Spain. I don't know if it's viceroyalty or viceroyalty. I'm not sure about that. I might have read about this at some point in the past. Jaripeo sounds kind of familiar. Let's see. All right, so that's the title of the article, but apparently there's something about four hours. So here's a competition show. Let's have a nice Guadalajara downtown tour and go to the traditional charreria show to enjoy how our charros prove how brave and strong they are practicing this Mexican sport tradition the same day. Sounds good to me. We'll see what this tour is not suitable for people who do not like to watch activities where the horses, cows, and bulls are part of the show. Okay. So tours Viva Mex. Now, I don't see a connection of a human female leader, but I imagine that, yeah, I might be able to cover or still apply the filter if we're saying that, you know, a lot of show horses are female. I mean, you know, so we'll just do it that way. And the name of it was Tours Viva Mex. I'm sure that included in this show. There, but it does seem like traditionally these shows are predominantly led by men, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not completely tied to requiring female leaders, but that's what we're. I think this is a better match for Benito Juarez in general, though, being that it's a national sport of Mexico. I would definitely like to go for the show. All right. It's a good price. 4 hours. Good tour. Oh, this one. Well, it says 2 hours here. Maybe I thought it said 4 hours. Am I thinking of the other one? Might be a combination of the tour and the show. Yeah, I think it's a combination of the tour and the show. Oh, nope. Looking at the wrong one. This one is 2 hours. Let's see if there's a memorial for Mexican female leaders. It's an anti-monument to honor activists and victims of violence. Other notable sites include Paseo Las Heroinas on Reforma Avenue and murals honoring figures like Jovita Yar. The anti-femicide memorials. Okay. In March 2021, protective barriers around the National Palace were transformed into a memorial by activists who painted the names of hundreds of femicide victims, honoring those lost to gender violence. Is that still there? This memorial was part. Either way, would it still be nice to visit the location where the memorial was? Yeah. Okay, so this is Mexico City's metal barrier. Is it still there? National Palace. Or not National. No, yeah, there's National Palace. Let's see if I can search and see if it's still there. Still at National Palace. Six. Based on available reports up to early 2026, the Anti-Femicide Memorial, originally created by activists on the protected barrier of Mexico's National Palace in 2021, has not remained a permanent installation. Instead, feminist activists have continued to create, protest, and maintain anti-monuments in public spaces, such as the Glorieta Las Mujeres que Luchan, in response to ongoing violence. Okay, so I'm just going to say location of 2021 anti-femicide monument. So I could say activist leaders. Cool. And then for the last one, we'll just go to a music venue because top West Mexico music venue. Estadio GMP 6, top Arena Ciudad de Mexico. Ciudad de Mexico. All right, Arena Ciudad de Mexico. Arena Ciudad de Mexico. Cool. So what we'll do, first one that I had, it was La Guitarrista. And so it was a girl playing the guitar. And one reason why I selected that book, or I think the best connect for that book, is that Benito Juarez has a guitar in a museum that's really well known. It has his name on it. It was specifically made for him and has his name on it, and it's at a museum. So I'm going to put that museum as just a reminder for myself. I think considering what we have here, I'll put the Arena de Ciudad, or the Arena Ciudad de Mexico. So let's jump on over here. We'll see if we can find that book. And just do this itinerary really quickly before we finish up for today. Arena Ciudad de Mexico. We don't have the city right now, but this is La Guitarrista. I'm not sure who wrote it at the moment. And let's see where it is. Okay, Mexico City. Makes sense. Mexico City, Mexico. We'll just play off of what we had last week for basketball. And we'll say, play the guitar, save the world. And then we'll get the book. It's a great opening for the month. All right, by Lucky Diaz. All right, and it's my lucky day today because we're finishing right here at 8 o'clock. Our first week of March, remembering Benito Juarez. That's it for this week. So until next reach out, keep it loud.